It is now my pleasure to introduce this afternoon's commencement speaker. 21 years ago, Jeff Blau was celebrating his graduation from the University of Michigan Business School, as it was known at the time. He went on to join fellow alumnus Stephen M. Ross at the Related Companies, a company Mr. Ross had founded. Today, Jeff is president and Stephen is the chairman of Related. Together over the past 20 years, they have led Related's extremely successful real estate development activity with a global scope, and including such projects as the Time Warner Building at Columbus Circle in New York City. Related has consistently shown a dedication to affordable housing as part of their portfolio, and also a focus on green building technologies. Jeff serves on the Senior Advisory Board of our school and on the Board of the Trustees of the Mount Sinai Medical Center. It's great to welcome Jeff back to the University of Michigan to address the graduates this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Regent White, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. I am Jeff Blau, BBA 1990, and a proud Michigan grad. Thank you, Dean Dolan, for that kind introduction, and thank you for the tremendous impact you've had on the University of Michigan over the past decade. I'm both honored and humbled to be speaking at today's graduation ceremony. It seems like only yesterday that I was sitting in your seats listening to Lawrence Kasdan, director and writer of The Big Chill, give his commencement speech and thinking about my future. I think back fondly of the late nights at Rick's, frat parties, Mud Bowl, and football games. And while these will always remain some of the best times of your lives, in a very different way, the best is yet to come. First, I want to take a moment to recognize the incredible milestone you have all achieved. Congratulations. A round of applause. The 4 years of toiling away at the library, the all-nighters, the endless research papers have paid off. And you have now joined an elite group of businessmen and women, civic leaders, inventors, and entrepreneurs known as Michigan alumni. The business climate you are entering into today is drastically different than when you started your program. When you began your studies just 4 short years ago, many of you may have had a post-graduation plan, a defined goal. If, as a result of the new world, your plan didn't come together as expected and your thought-to-be dream job did not appear, do not be disappointed. View this as an opportunity, not an impediment. Take this time to explore and determine what you really love, what you were meant to do, and then pursue it without compromise. Over the past few years, we have all witnessed the staggering impact of the economic crisis. Over 8 million jobs disappeared in the United States. $34 trillion of market losses were experienced globally. And we still have overwhelming uncertainty as to when the economy will recover. I faced similar conditions, though not to the same extent, when I graduated in 1990. At that time, many of my fellow graduates viewed the Goldman Sachs's and McKinsey's of the world as the jobs to be coveted. They offered stability, a great career track, and a quantifiable upside. And while they are great firms, I chose a different course. Truth be told, I didn't get a job offer from either one of those firms. But I did indeed choose a different course. I chose to pursue a career that I could be passionate about, a career that has no bounds or traditional structure or classes. I chose a career of entrepreneurship and have found great fulfillment, and you can too. Machiavelli said it best. Entrepreneurs are simply those who understand that there is little difference between obstacle and opportunity, and are able to turn both to their advantage. Today, you are in a position that will not be repeated in your lifetime. You have few responsibilities and even fewer limitations. Now is the time to take chances, chart your own course, be fearless. You too can leave here today and capitalize on the incredible prospects before you and pursue what you really want to do. Be entrepreneurial. In the long run, it will lead to even better opportunities than those so-called dream jobs. When things are great, people tend to rest on their laurels and replicate the recipe for success. But in difficult times, we have the chance to think differently, be innovative. Challenging times expose unmet needs in the marketplace and allow us to better identify those elusive, unarticulated prospects and discover opportunities. Today is ripe for entrepreneurship. Many great companies were launched during recessions. BlackBerry, Apple, Microsoft, Dell, GE, Ford, Intel, Home Depot, and Charles Schwab, to name a few, were all founded amid past recessions, and look where they are today. In fact, statistics show that half the companies in the Fortune 500 began during a recession or a bear market. What if these creative leaders had followed their peers into institutional jobs? Others were founded when their principals had been fired. Michael Bloomberg, fired from Salomon Brothers. Walt Disney, fired as a newspaper editor and told he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Thomas Edison, fired from his first 2 jobs and told by his teachers that he was too stupid to learn anything. And even Steve Ross, my partner and the business school's namesake, started Related after he was fired from Bear Stearns. Well, we all know how that turned out. What if they had merely picked up and gotten a lateral position at another similar business? Just think of what we would have missed out on. Now think about what they have achieved. Nearly every innovation we take for granted in our everyday lives started this way, with an idea, a bold willingness to act, with a risk, that when it panned out, the result was a new product, a new movement, a new business model. You too can act on your talent, your ideas, your energy, and create your own destiny. Entrepreneurship comes in many forms, but entrepreneurs tend to all have similar traits: character, courage, leadership, ambition, focus, and above all else, passion. I knew from a young age I was a born entrepreneur. As a child, I had a lemonade stand, paper route, bagel delivery service, flea market stand, you name it. And before I graduated Michigan, I had already started several businesses. One such business I started right here on this campus, Supreme Course Transcripts. I identified a need for lecture transcripts and sought out a way to fill that need. I went from professor to professor, gaining their permission to tape and transcribe their classes. And for those professors in the audience, don't worry. I always branded the product a supplement, not a substitute for classroom learning. I opened a small counter in the corner of the campus copy store, and the business grew to 40 employees, a number any economic development agency would be proud to tout. When I left Michigan, I sold the business. It was one of my first deals. The business traded hands several more times over the years, and then during the internet boom, the owner apparently raised $12 million in venture capital money and expanded the business not only to other states, but went viral through an online platform. It was a simple idea, a need I could meet that took off, grew, and expanded. Ironically, the real estate business I started here at Michigan was not quite as successful, but that endeavor taught me other valuable lessons, those of perseverance and persistence, and to never give up on what you love. Upon graduation, I joined Related Companies after completing a summer internship the year before, the company Steve Ross started in 1972 after his setback. I told Stephen I would only stay for a year or two, as I wanted to work for myself. He responded by saying that if I were any good, it would then be his job to keep me by creating an environment that would allow people to have their own projects, grow, pursue their own avenues, and be entrepreneurial. That was 21 years ago. He has certainly kept up his end of the bargain, and I believe he would say that I have kept up mine. Together, as partners, we have grown our company to be the largest private real estate development firm in the country, staffed with some of the finest talent in the industry, only half of which went to Michigan. We rode out 2 great recessions, purchased several companies, including Equinox Fitness Clubs, and found multiple ways to invent and reinvent ourselves. When the catastrophic economic events of the past few years hit, we faced a crossroads. We were a real estate development company with 2,000 employees, facing years of little or no development opportunity. We could have chosen to downsize and simply operate our current real estate portfolio. But instead, we got creative and found opportunity in adversity through advisory services, international expansion, fund management, and banking platforms. In each circumstance, we reverted back to our entrepreneurial roots by relying on the talent we assembled who shared our visions and goals and our commitment to an environment that fosters new thinking, bold ideas, and a limitless potential. Today, across our platform, we have more employees, more lines of business, and more revenue than we did before the recession. While your generation reads a great amount about fast-moving careers, Wall Street investment bankers, hedge fund managers, and unthinkable salaries, I would urge you to be part of something bigger. In today's times, your generation bears an incredible responsibility. Embrace it. You will need to be the ones, you'll be the change drivers. You will be the ones that are called upon to take us out of this recession, balance our budgets, and fix our healthcare and education systems. You will be the problem solvers, the inventors, the investors, and the creative thinkers who finally break our dependence on foreign oil, conserve our natural resources, and ensure that our country remains the intellectual capital of the world. We are blessed to live in a country that embraces new ideas, encourages experimentation, and celebrates the pursuit of innovation. Take the chance, seize new opportunities, build a business, leave a legacy, and in your own way, make the world a better place. True success, wealth or otherwise, comes through perseverance and is a long-term sum game, not a quick flip. There are no shortcuts, and you will have to keep at it every day. It is sometimes said that it takes 20 years to be an overnight success. It will not be easy. You will need preparation, patience, and persistence to achieve your goals. And remember, it is not always about the end, but the journey as well. Live each of these moments, relish in the ride. While I've talked a lot about a professional career path, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the importance of family. I am blessed to have found that same passion and happiness in my personal life as in my professional life. I married an incredible woman and have 2 beautiful children that bring me an enormous amount of joy every day. Don't let your professional focus distract you from a balanced life. Finally, a few words of advice. 1, find a mentor, someone you can confide in and trust, someone who shares your values. I found mine in Steve Ross. He taught me to believe in myself, dream big, and take risks. As he often says, the less you bet, the more you lose when you win. Let me repeat that. The less you bet, the more you lose when you win. 2, have confidence in yourself. Believe in the potential of your ideas and your abilities. Have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. Don't let others drown you out. 3, surround yourself with like-minded, smart people. Don't be insular. Smart people, preferably even smarter than yourself, raise your game, inspire you, and challenge you. My colleagues, from the 23-year-old analyst to my CFO, who's been with the company for 20 years, push me every day and ensure that we, as a company, continually innovate. 4, be nimble. Life is not a straight line. Be prepared to pivot, curve, change direction, reinvent, and reimagine. 5, stay curious. Have passion. Find something you love. There is no way to be truly successful if you don't. Success takes time, and the only way you'll be able to commit that time is to do what you love more than anything else. Number 6, protect your reputation vigorously. It is your most valuable asset. 7, don't stand still, lest you will inevitably fall behind. Make decisions, continually push forward. And finally, 8, don't forget where you came from. Give back. By the way, the Michigan Fundraising Office will make sure that you don't forget that one. You now face an important choice. You can take the traditional route, or you can take the road less traveled. You can get mired in obstacles, or you can fight for opportunity. You can shy away from challenge and change, or you can solve a problem. Create an idea that sets you apart from the crowd and compels you to strike out on your own. Harness your potential, your ingenuity, and your talent, and lead the way. My hope for the class of 2011, make your mark, and leave this earth a better place than you found it. Good luck, enjoy the journey, and go Blue.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Okay.